Hello guys, welcome to another video. In this video we will do how to identify a downtrend. Okay, so basically we all get sometime confused if we look a downward movement in the stock or script. Okay, so it's let me make it very clear. When we talk about a downtrend, we are talking about a series of lower low, lower highs, or a series of down move and an up move. Okay, so here I made a downswing where price travel from A to B. Here I'm drawing a downtrend where price is coming down, a slight retracement. Okay, then again it will go down, again it will retrace up, again it will go down, again it will retrace up. Okay, so while identifying downtrend, there are many properties with it. Namely, we have given 4 points here to easily identify downtrend, and these are 4 properties which you will find in a good downtrend. So one is Dow theory. Basically, it comprises of you might be knowing higher high, higher lows, lower low, or lower highs. If you are still unable to understand Dow theory, we have made our own video about Dow theory. You can check in our technical analysis series video. Next is channel, where we make or we touch the highs and lows of Dow theory. Basically, we touch every swing high and we touch every swing low. When we do this, we get a channel type formation, which is also a characteristics of a downtrend. Next is COP. Now this means change of polarity. When you will see in some of our examples, sometime it will touch, sometime the retracement won't touch COP level. So COP is nothing but change of polarity, where we see the prior support is now acting as a resistance. Next one is volume. When we talk about volume, you must be aware, or you should know this basic concept, that whenever a trend is generated, there is a volume in the trend. Sometime it will happen a trend with a low volume, or you can say a swing with a low volume can be seen in the market. That doesn't mean it's not a good buying, or it's not very indicating some kind of a weakness, but we will see how volume plays an important role in identifying a downtrend. So these 4 properties now we will apply on the example, and we will see how it goes. Yeah, so before going towards the example, I would like to show that we have recently launched our website. Basically, this is our website. You can go, you can check here. We provide various kind of services here. You can go and check. Right now we have offered some course here which are running at a discount. You can see if it works for you, and if you have any query regarding this, you can definitely contact us. Now let us go to the example. Now let us go to our first example. This is Aurobindo Pharma. I'm showing you a weekly chart. Okay, now if you want to see a daily chart, you will find a clear downtrend as well in daily time form, but I would prefer you to look first in weekly and monthly time frame, and then come on a smaller time frame. Here we can clearly see lower low, lower high formation. I will just again go to the weekly chart where the moves are consolidated. Yes, now you can clearly see low low, lower highs being formed. Let me mark it quickly for you. We can see a one-way fall here. Okay, then slight retracement, again now lower low, lower high formation. Here we can see same lows, same highs, basically again lower low, lower high formation. This means it is a sign of clear weakness in the counter. Now you might be having a question, sir, why it is necessary to understand a trend? Okay, because if you are an investor, it will help you in averaging the counter. Now if you know that the trend is very weak, it is of no use to average counter. But if you are doing value investing, then the case might be different. But most of the time, we all retail participant try to speculate for 6 months to a year, where we come across many counters who are into a weak structure, or these stocks are falling for 6 to 8 months. So instead of averaging at any level, you can apply basically the knowledge of trends while averaging. Second, if you are a day trader, if you're trading in a very short term time frame, you must be aware of this trend, because if you're trading with the trend, you can catch good move. Okay, you can catch move in the favor of trend. Otherwise, what will happen if the stock is showing a downtrend, a clear downtrend, and if we try to take a long position for bigger targets, most of the time it won't work. So we should have a clear cut knowledge of the trend. Now back to the Dow theory which I was explaining. We can clearly see lower low, lower high formation here. And now let us see a second feature which a downtrend must show. Okay. The second one was, it will also shows us the channel properties. Here we can see the counter is making a channel formation. It was taken out. Okay. Let me clear the Dow theory structure here. Yes. Now this counter was showing a channel structure. Then we have seen a breakdown. Again, it has gone sideways, but still it is maintaining its weakness. Second is COP. What it means, your support will become resistance. Here you can clearly see the same thing happening. Support has turned into the resistance. Okay. Similarly, you can also see here as well, your supports will simply turn into resistance. And the last one, if you see the volume, you can see the volume was contracting as the counter was going up. Basically here also there was a channel pattern formation. I won't go into that, but here you can see the fall was with the increase in volume. You can see whenever there was a fall, the volume was increasing. Again volume dry up, then again increase in volume when there was a selling pressure. So in this downtrend, you can see all the four properties are visible. Okay. Now let us move to the next example, where we will see again these conditions are followed. If you will see NCC chart, here what we can see, from 2018 this has gone into an downtrend. Okay. Now we can clearly see lower low, lower high. Okay. I will just quickly mark it for you. You can clearly see lower lows, lower high being formed here. Then there was a rectangle pattern here forming up. Okay. Similar low, similar highs. Then again lower low, lower high formation. Okay. This is the Dow theory concept. Okay. So now you know that this is a clear downtrend. Second is whether this is following a channel behavior. Okay. Let me try to connect. See, I've already connected resistance line. I will try to connect the support line. You will see this ideally behaves work in a channel type formation, which means market don't move in a one-way direction. Okay. Again, if I see here, you will see again all the lower lows, if we connect, we can find some kind of a support. But here in this downtrend, you will see when the momentum was very fast. Okay. Which means when the selling was very fast, the chart is simply going down at an 60° to 70° angle. Okay. And when the selling pressure was less, or we can say when some buyers were there in the market who were also buying with the force. That time we have seen a consolidation happening in this counter. Again, when the bears won the fight, you can see with the rise in volume. Okay, same property here as well. Whenever there was a fall, we can see the volume was rising. And then finally, when this counter made bottom, from there we can see higher high, higher low formation. Okay, basically every new low was higher than the previous low. It went up till 2 to 3x from the bottom, and then again it fizzle out. Okay, one more thing now you will notice is, in the prior downtrend we were seeing COP concept being followed. Okay, now here as the fall is very steep, that's why your support level, okay, will basically, will definitely act as a resistance, but because the pullback, or you can say the retracement, is so weak that it is not touching the COP levels. So whenever you see this kind of a behavior, you can now know that the downtrend, that the counter which is falling, or the index, you can simply understand that the momentum or the intensity is very strong. Why? Because the pullback are not able to touch the support zone, basically the resistance zone which were earlier support. As I mentioned in this example earlier, the volume was also rising when the counter is going down. Again, a healthy sign for an downtrend. Let us go to one more example, and this is an international counter which is Netflix. Recently it was in the news, and this is the weekly chart. Let me show you the daily chart as well. You will find gaps here. Okay, now basically the first gap which you are looking at is nothing but a breakaway gap. I have also made a video on gap analysis, you can watch. Now you will ask, sir, is there a lower low, lower high formation in this fall also? Yes. Now the fall is so steep that the retracement, that the percentage of retracement is quite low in this. So let me mark this, and you can see the percentage of retracement is very less. Okay, finally it made a bottom near about 160 level. Okay, and then it is now going up. Now many of you will have a question, sir, should we buy into such kind of stock, or we should trade in this kind of a stock? Now basically, if we are catching a stock like this whose price is falling, very fast, the momentum is very high, it's 80 to 90 degree kind of a fall. So basically, unless there is any reversal pattern formation, you should not touch this counter for a long side trade. Okay, now in this chart we can see there was a formation, there was a descending triangle formation, but we call this as an busted descending triangle, where the breakout is on the opposite side. This is again a valid classical chart pattern which you can look for. Now this counter is making higher high and higher low, but if someone wants to invest in this counter, okay, or want to trade in this counter in the downtrend, okay, your view should be of short. And if someone wants to add this counter, you must have waited for this structure to form, okay, a pattern, busted pattern breakout, or a series of now higher high, higher lows. Okay, in this case also, let me clear my screen. Okay, let me delete this. In this case, we can clearly see volume is rising as the counter is going on. Now there is one more very dangerous sign in this counter. There is a gap, and with gap there is a very high volume. Again, there is a gap. With this gap there is a very high volume, which means professional investors are going out from this counter. Now definitely this kind of fall is due to some fundamental change in the business or a macro related moves. which we will not go very deep into because we are now looking only on the trend, only on the technical aspects. Again, here the fall was so steep that COP you can't see support turning into resistance because the fall was so steep. The pullback were very weak. Volume, you can see the criteria which is also fulfilling. Volume was increasing as the counter moved on a lower side. Let us go to our last example, which is HEG. Now, HEG was in the news, okay, in 2018 when it was giving a very good move. Now, again, these are all the cyclical stock, okay. You must be aware that if you are trading in cyclical stock, you must follow the trend very seriously, because once trend is against you, it is very difficult to make money in the cyclical counters such as HEG. Or right now, if you are in a market, you can look on some of the metal counters. The same type of behavior you will see. When they will go up, you will see a good uptrend. When they will go down, you will see a very nice downtrend. In this, let me turn your focus in 2019. Here we can see a deep cut, okay. It's again a 80 to 90 degree vertical fall, and then we can see the formation of lower low, lower high clearly being formed. Let me mark it quickly. Here we can see the fall started. Here there was a descending triangle pattern, again a price action pattern, and we can clearly see the fall. Here it again went sideways, again we have seen a downfall. The pandemic low, panic low has made bottom in this and many other stock. Basically in 2018 we have seen a sharp sell off in mid cap counters, and most of these mid cap counters bottom during the pandemic low levels. Now here in this case, like unlike Netflix where the channel was not possible, okay, because the fall was so fast, the prior resistance line which we make the channel resistance is simply being untouched in the counters like of Netflix. But here the fall is of a more of a first 80 to 90 degree fall, okay, one way it corrected, and then there was an 45 degree to 50 degree kind of a fall. Let me clear this and let me make a trend line, a falling resistance line, and a falling support line. Here you can again see this kind of a behavior. Then the counter went sideways, and then again a up move when the metal rally happened in 2021. Here again you can see there was a lesser volume when the counter was consolidating. While it was falling, an increase in volume basically shows the sign of distribution. Again, when the counter was falling, you can see rise in volume, slight rise in volume again. And when there was an breakout here, if we can see, there was a kind of pattern formation as well. So we have seen one breakout, but it failed. As we know that the counter is now in a long-term downtrend, there are very high chances that if you go against the trend, you might definitely hit your SL, or the target must be very small. Now, I hope that with all this example, you must have understood about the trends. I will make another video where we will discuss about more of objective method. Today, these 4 points are more of a subjective method. For someone, a channel will form in X way. For someone, the volume might not be very compelling. So these 4 properties which we were looking of a downtrend are more of a subjective way, okay, in more of a subjective way. In the next video, I will bring some objective methods where we can see where not only for you, for others as well, the criteria will be same, and there will be less confusion on looking on those parameters. So I hope you find this video worthwhile. If you like our channel, do subscribe our channel and share with your friend. Till then, take care, and I will meet you in the next episode.